Atlanta, Georgia on this championship Sunday in the Big 3. The Big 3 championship presented by Microsoft. And we begin with the All-Star Game. Team Doc, led by Julius Erving, against Team Ice, led by the Hall of Famer George Gervin. Here's the schedule today on CBS. The All-Star Game is next, and at 5 Eastern, the Big 3 Championship presented by Microsoft coming your way here from Atlanta. And with that, we welcome you. Ed Cohen, Jim Jackson, Brian Scalabrine is with us as well. Hey, the All-Star Game, you'll love it. You'll love to see it. We'll get dunks, 4-point shots, we'll get it all. The best players in the Big 3 will take to the floor today.
Yeah, you know, guys that play well all year, consistent all year, just get awarded for it. Now you get a chance to play an All-Star Game. Now keep in mind, you know, Trilogy may have one, can't play, whatever it may be. But we're going to have a lot of fun with it. Again, at the beginning, a lot of fun, but it's going to turn the corner a little bit more because these young men do want to ultimately win. So look for that competitive drive to come out.
How about Team Ice? George Gervin, he was an All-Star Game MVP in 1980. The group for Team Ice brought to you by PNC Bank. And there is size, there is explosive athleticism, and there is the MVP. Kevin Murphy had a dynamite Big 3 season.
But it's also shooting too. Kevin Murphy leads the way as the current MVP of the league, 20.9 points a game. He dominated at all levels. Extremely tough to guard, not afraid of the big moment. Featuring a lot of different areas, but this team is stacked out. Some shooting from Jody Meeks and also Jay Rich.
And the roster for Team Doc, brought to you by PNC Bank. Dusan Bullock, great point guard. You have Mike Taylor, who's one of the most exciting players to watch in the Big 3. And you have a great rebounder who really had a terrific first year with the Aliens, and Sean Stevens.
I tell you what, right there for, you know, in the MVP race, because he showed a lot this year in regards to what he was able to do. I think he had a 19-point or 19-rebound game as well during the course of the season. His ability to step out and knock down the three made him so tough, but defensively, that's where he made his mark as well.
Brian Scalabrine with Deshaun Stevens.
Deshaun, now, so what do you think about the Big 3? And first of all, congratulations on making the All-Star team. How was your season this year?
It was great. It was an amazing season. I had a lot of fun, and I'm excited to be picked for the All-Star.
You'll be back next year?
Hopefully. That's the plan. We're working on it.
No question about it. Good year, and congratulations on making the team.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Let's take a look at the rules in the Big 3. And certainly in this All-Star Game, the first to 50 wins. You must win by 2. No game clock. There is a 14-second shot clock. Free throws, you get 1 shot for 2, 3, or 4. And look out, the 4-point circle could be home to many shots today in this All-Star Game. And away we go. First ever in the Big 3. And for the Aliens, you have Bullet out there with Stevens. Their teammates now for Team Doc, along with Mario Chalmers of Three's Company against Meeks, Green, and Austin for Team Ice.
Yeah, now keep in mind that teams don't have an opportunity to really practice, so it may be a little disjointed at the beginning. It'd be interesting to see, you know, early on kind of guys what lineups both coaches use, because ultimately in that second half, you're going to dial in the best players that are playing well to win the game. And speaking of that, Dusan brought so much from an international perspective of experience of how to play 3-on-3 on the larger scale. People don't realize how big 3-on-3 is internationally. So it was good to see that, you know, Dusan and his team, Aliens, had some success kind of bringing that forward here to the Big 3.
Look at this guy. The style of Julius Erving.
You see that shirt? You got to get a picture. You got to get a close-up of the shirt.
So I'm happy you said get a picture, because last time you said, Ed, you need to actually get the shirt.
Well, that's true, too. Yeah.
Bullets with the first couple of buckets for Team Doc, and a 5-0 start. Dante Green of the killer threes, backing down Chalmers. Leans in and scores.
Rio getting it in.
Oh, the coolest guy. Iceman George Gervin. Chalmers near the 4-point circle. Green not giving him much space. The scoop on the move, not there. Meeks, runner, short. Bullet blows by Austin to the rim. Stevens trailing with the stuff.
Bullet with a little shuffle that the officials didn't catch. But it's the All-Star game, so you can get away with an extra step. That time Stevens showing his athleticism, able to slam it down. And Austin, I tell you what, Isaiah Austin also has been a great addition to the Big 3 league. Last year when he came in, you know, because of health issues before he couldn't play, but showed his ability to stretch the defense. And speaking of which,
and missed the rim.
Yeah.
Austin stripped clean by Stevens, ripped it out. I'll tell you what, 9-4 Team Doc. Jim, what do you make of the defense here in the early going?
but you know what is interesting when you talked about the interview with Doc and George Gervin put on by Scal. They said, listen, once you put it on, you want to compete. And we see it in All-Star games where at the beginning the ball is passed around, throw some trick plays, and then the competitive nature between the players eventually comes out. And you want to win. And when you see guys competitive, is when they start playing and locking in on defense. That's when you know they're taking it serious.
And the talent on the floor now, impressive. Chalmers with the 3 and an early 12-7 start for Team Doc.
Well, we saw a lot of this during the course of the season. Dusan Bullet with a little pump fake. You go for it, you help, drop it off to Stevens, slam it home, big fella. Easy 2 inside. Go Steelers, baby. Let's go Steelers. I don't care if it's preseason or not.
We are 2 weeks away. Unbelievable.
I know. The summer just flew by, but welcome back. NFL.
Wait a minute, aren't you from Toledo, Ohio?
So what? Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania touches the borders of Ohio, right outside of Youngstown. So grew up a Steelers fan. And touching the border, Stevens behind the line, clearly. Would have knocked that one in for 3.
So for Team Doc, you have Deshaun Stevens, Dusan Bullet of the Aliens with Mike Taylor of the Ghost Ballers, Isaiah Austin missing there for the enemies, along with Jody Meeks of the Ball Hogs, and Dante Green with the Killer 3s. Taylor backdoor Bullet, the catch and finish.
And that's really good movement because, again, you're in practicing a lot. You don't know each other's game. But if you move and you cut, these guys are talented enough to get you the pill so you can score. Speaking of which, so high-low action. Look, the big lineup in there. Green able to knock it in and get it over the top to Isaiah Austin. So good 1-2 combination.
That last bucket ending an 8-0 run. Taylor speeding to the rim for 2.
And good to see him healthy and playing well. The coach, the legend. Yeah,
he's getting ready.
I tell you what, somebody take it serious. You know how much film study and hours she put in, watching. I mean, her opponent. It's unbelievable, man.
Unmatched in the Big 3.
It really is.
Jody Meeks fires and scores from 3-point range. But back to Lady Magic, and Jim, you mentioned on the pregame show the fact that Power stayed in Dallas for a month and the impact that had on their chemistry.
Well, if you really want to win, you'll talk about it or you'll be about it. And again, you're sacrificing again. In the summertime, you don't have to do it. You have families at home, other things going on. But Power, collectively as a group, chose to stay in Dallas. And that's a tough ask. But because they believe in what Nancy was preaching in regards to we have to come together as a team, and if we're going to do it, this is, I think, the path to success. And ultimately, what she talked about and described was correct. They're in the championship game.
Power and Trilogy, they're coming up in the championship game. Kevin Murphy into the game for Team Ice, along with Jeremy Pargo, the triplets, Jason Richardson of Tri-State, Michael Beasley, too much.
And I will say this, that's not to say that the other teams that didn't do it, like Trilogy, were wrong for them.
Right.
They found their own chemistry and the reason why they needed to get better and they backed up. But for Power, that worked. You can see the immediate effect because of that dedication.
Look at Mr. Beasley. He is a walking bucket, and he's winning the early competition for best dressed among the All-Stars on the floor today.
But Mike brings so much to the table. And again, it's an adjustment part of playing 3-on-3 the first year. Because you see it on TV, you may see it up close and personal. You don't realize how physical and taxing it is by playing 3-on-3 until you actually compete in.
It's not full court, but you miss a shot, you clear. The pace in the half court can be just as fast.
But you have to guard a lot of real estate with only 3 players. You think about if you're going to have to close out to the corner and you're on the strong side and the ball, you're on the bottom, and you have to close all the way out to the opposing or the opposite 3-point line. On 5-on-5, it's 1 or 2 other players that can close out for you. In this league, 3-on-3, it's on you if you're the bottom man.
Look out, Pargo walks the tightrope and avoided the collision out of bounds. He zigged one way, zagged the other. Beasley off the mark. Remember, 1st and 25 gets us to the break. Jay Rich short. Beasley to the 4-point circle.
Oh, got easy money. Oh, he didn't dunk it. Laid it up. Bees with ease.
Murphy short. You saw it all the way.
I saw it all the way.
I'll tell you what, Beasley, that was refreshing.
Oh, what? The fans wanted to see a dunk.
He said in week 1, as he went off back in Chicago, made it look easy, felt easy. 3-pointer, off the mark. Charles Green swoops in. Jay Rich the steal, and the slam for the 2-time slam dunk champ.
And still showing a little bop in his mature state of life right now, but a little windmill.
Murphy over Beasley.
Good D. Kevin Murphy is not an easy opponent to keep in front of you.
There he is now. No look now to Jay Rich.
Yeah.
3 is good.
Saw a lot of that. I mean, Jay Rich this year, his ability, along with Trash Chase, to kind of knock it from behind the 3-point line. When they were hot and shooting the ball well from 3, they were as dominant as any team. Unfortunately for them, on the backside of the schedule, they got a little ice cold from 3 when they competed. But that man never got ice cold. You know why? Because he never scored under 20 points the entire season. And 1 point short of all-time leading score in the season, points-wise, to Joe Johnson, I believe it was.
He went for it that final week.
And he had it. He had it.
Beasley gets us to the break in the first ever Big 3 All-Star Game. 25-22, Team Doc with the advantage on Team Ice. Brian Scalabrine with the best trash talker in the league, and Mike Taylor.
Congratulations on winning best trash talker in the league. But here you are at the All-Star. You're running that mouth. How you liking the All-Star Game?
Man, I'm loving the experience, man. Appreciate the Cube putting this thing together. Appreciate the Big 3. I mean, best trash talker. You got to have a little walk behind that talk, though, right?
You're showing the walk.
Let's help. Keep it up. Appreciate you.
Got it.
He is Milwaukee's finest, Mike Taylor of the Ghost Ballers. First half in the books, 25-22, Team Doc with the lead. We'll return to Atlanta after these messages and a word from your local station. You're watching the Big 3 All-Star Game.
The Big 3 on CBS Sports is sponsored by Fubo TV. Watch live TV and sports. FuboTV.com.
Some of the faces from the greatest 3-on-3 basketball league in the world. And soon it's going to be a trilogy playing the championship for now in the All-Star Game. Team Doc over Team Ice by 3 here on CBS. TickPick, proud to be the official secondary ticket marketplace of the Big 3. Why pay extra for tickets when you can get the same seats for better prices on TickPick? Download the app and get the guaranteed best prices on tickets to any live event. No service fees, period. And welcome back inside it. Cohen, Jim Jackson, Brian Scalabrine with us as well. All-Star team. Hey, it's been a lot of fun in the first half of this All-Star game.
It has been. It's been competitive, though, from the beginning. A lot of times you have fill-out points, but no, these young men, I think, have something to prove in themselves. They want to win their basketball. They're excited to be here. But at the end of the day, they want to walk away with the trophy.
You mentioned chemistry playing with new guys, even in an All-Star game. Well, the Aliens have Dusan Bullitt and Deshaun Stevens on the same squad.
But it's also difficult when you just move without the basketball, don't stay in one place. You'll be able to figure some things out. Dusan Bullitt able to knock in some shots early. It's been Stevens right here on the receiving end of the penetration, and then Mike Taylor able to kick it out. Stevens also able to knock in the shot. So basketball players play basketball, and they figure things out eventually.
Let's go to Scal with the Iceman.
All right, Iceman. Down by 3, you guys closed that in at the half. How you like the way your team is playing?
They're catching up. You know, they starting, getting their feet under them, getting their legs under them. And, I got guys that can shoot the ball, so I know they're going to start going in. So I'm kind of excited what I see.
All right, good luck in the second half.
Hey, Scal.
Yes, sir.
Think about this. When you interviewed Dr. J and George Gervin, they said how many All-Star appearances between
17.
So,
No, 17.
17. So if you add me and you, guess what? They'll still have 17.
Like, those guys were going no matter what.
Exactly.
It wasn't even a conversation.
At all.
There's a few that were a discussion. Iceman and Dr. J were not a discussion. They were in.
That's right.
It is awesome. The Big 3, Jimmy, Scal, it's founded on not just great players, but great coaches. And Ice Cube has spoken about the credibility you get from having Hall of Famers associated with this league. What a place to start the All-Star game with the Doctor and the Iceman.
Well, but it says so much in regards to their commitment, but more importantly, their belief in what Ice Cube and Jeff Quantas believed in from the very beginning to lend their name to it. Because at the end of the day, Scal, you understand this, your reputation precedes you, and it follows you. But it also can be tarnished if you associate yourself with some things that don't go well. But Doc, Gerv, Dayton, Nancy, all the coaches, Rick, they weren't afraid to kind of lend their name on the line for what Ice Cube and his staff wanted to do to create this league.
Mario Chalmers with the teardrop. Chalmers with Threes Company. And now with 5 points. And there is Ice Cube with NLE Choppa, who played in the celebrity game today. Pargo hits a one-legged 4-point shot.
Well, he likes a one-legged shot anyway, especially when he goes to his right hand. But that time, they have seen it once or twice from the 4-point line during the course of the season.
Pargo against Bullitt, guarding him tightly. Bullitt shakes by him and hits to beat the 14.
Now, he put the ball in the basket. I mean, he's a fierce competitor, a physical guard with a nice little soft touch. Can get under your skin a little bit, irritate you.
Oh, yeah.
But at the same time, he plays hard, plays to win.
Chalmers, step back, 3 is no good. Murphy to the 4-point circle. Made 5 during the regular season, led the Big 3. Chalmers, too much. And Stevens losing the handle, but a foul on Jay Rich.
Let's go back to that Pargo 3-point shot. Now listen, during the course of the year, like I talked about, Pargo would quite often shoot off of one leg. And that time was more of a square up to knock it in. And
Jeremy Pargo with the triplets, along with Jay Rich, Tri-State. Quick release, 3's no good. Kevin Murphy out there for the 3-headed monsters. That is Team Ice and Team Doc with Stevens and Bullitt from the Aliens, along with Mario Chalmers. Nice speed. 2 to shoot. Bullitt gets his own rebound. Hook shot, Stevens.
2 working back together. Bullitt with the offensive rebound, and Stevens with a nice little jump hook, had the size over Jay Rich inside.
Stevens now at 9. Murphy, fade, no, in midair. Richardson nearly flung it in. 31-28 Team Doc with the advantage in the All-Star game. Chalmers sinks it.
Another two-man game. Good work that time by Bullet. A quick pass to Chalmers, who kind of relocated in the corner. Pargo.
There they banked in another from 4. Chalmers wants the screen. Instead, it's Stevens. Chalmers.
One leg.
That's the theme of the day. J-Rich over Stevens. Punched out to Pargo.
Too open that time by Pargo.
Behind the back, Bullet hangs, can finish, but he'll shoot 1 for 2 for Team Doc.
Stevens inside, nice little jump up.
Well, it took a little while, but they just got it in time. Going to bring the fire in this All-Star game.
Oh, in the All-Star game. So, really, the coach says, you know what, I don't agree with the call in the All-Star game, so I'm going to bring the fire. But that's the beauty of what the league offers. It's something a little different that's out of the ordinary, something that you're not accustomed to seeing in 5-on-5 basketball. I guess he's saying right there it was contact, but not enough in his eyes to call a foul.
All right, Bullet against Pargo. Bullet spins, shorts. Pargo holding his own, so a good challenge there by Team Ice.
Yeah.
By the way, I love the music here on site at Big 3 games. The
Always.
Price is Right.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't get it.
Brum, brum. Yeah, exactly.
Great work by everybody all year long with the Big 3. The show that began in Chicago, long stretch in Dallas, Tampa last week in the semifinals, championship in Atlanta. As Dante Grigg tucks it and scores.
Well, I mean, it's been so challenging because this league was built around barnstorming, which means going to different cities, allowing the product to be viewed, by a different set of eyes. But over the last 2 years, because of COVID, you were regulated to 1 or 2 locations. It makes it a little bit more challenging. But yet and still, fans came out and participated. The players, they really bought into it, and hence, through all the challenges, are here at the championship weekend. So it says a lot about the dedication of players and coaches, the league itself, and the fans for coming out.
In the ATL, Chalmers, no slam follow to Sean Stevens. He's got 11 points. Team Doc 36, Team Ice 32. That's a tough matchup for Chalmers against Austin.
Well, he knew it too. He didn't really challenge the shot. It's one of those things that you can either make or miss that shot, Isaiah.
Bullet with the left. Improvises. Oh, it's been the story of the aliens in the All-Star game.
Yeah, we've had bring the fire a couple times, but Stevens being able to bring the thunder right here off the miss by Rio. A big reason why Stevens had such an impact on this season with the aliens is his ability to finish around the rim. We got something brewing right now with this All-Star game.
The score of the inaugural Big 3 All-Star Game, Team Doc with the lead on Team Ice, 38-34 here on CBS. Let's take a look at the Microsoft Player of the Week, and no surprise, 3rd straight week, Jimmy, it's Glenn Rice Jr.
Big-time shots to seal the deal, for Power to solidify a spot into the championship. But not surprised, so to speak, because he's been playing so well. The team has been playing well. They've been winning. But Glenn Rice Jr. added so much value, not just to what Power was able to accomplish this year, but adding another dynamic player within the big three.
Rice, Briscoe, and Clark, all All-Stars this year, not playing in the game because we've got the main event coming up after this one. The Big 3 Championship Trilogy. They won their last 5 games, and power is back in the championship game.
Again, we said it, the 2 hottest teams near the end of the season. Not surprising that those are the 2 teams that were able to have some staying power and eventually kind of break through the line and get to the championship game, so it should be a great one.
You allowed to comment on a Michigan man?
That's my man. I hated him when I played against him because he was 6'8". He could shoot right over the top. Athletic, more athletic than people give him credit for, but man, his jump shot was as beautiful as anyone has had that ever played in the league, I can tell you that much.
Len Rice Sr. in the house. His son will play in the title game in a matter of moments. Family vibes in Atlanta. You have Rice Sr., Rice Jr., Nancy Lieberman, head coach of Power, her son TJ Klein, a key part of their roster as well. Gerald Green in for Team Doc. Against Austin, pull up for 3, hits it.
Well, speaking of family, with Bivouac, Gerald was able to get his brother to who he wanted in the draft, but eventually got him through some free agency moves by Bivouac to get on the team, so another family kind of atmosphere. He's so used to seeing Green with his athleticism and explosion. Doc, did Doc hit the button?
I think he's going to bring the fire for Team Doc. And it's going to be Austin for the enemies, and Chalmers defending the big guy. Chalmers gets a stop. No points. Austin leaders, no good. And Chalmers, in a game you're not going to get many fouls called, holds his own.
You know, it's interesting. As good as these offensive players are in the, the big three, the percentages, we said it all year, are in favor of the defense. You would think about, okay, it's one-on-one. Offense, particularly, usually wins. Not like you have great defensive players, but for whatever reason, it's been great for,
Inbounds! Reverse alley-oop jam. Mr. Stevens, good night, MVP. It might happen. Now that's a set play.
It was set play, but Dante Green just fell asleep on the weak side. That's what that was.
We're back in 30 seconds. The score in the All-Star Game by 9 over next Sunday. Fall is right around the corner, and it feels like football. Also signaling the return of the NFL on CBS, and an intriguing preseason matchup between the Lions and Jim's Pittsburgh Steelers. Kickoff 4:30 Eastern next Sunday. The NFL on CBS.
Come on, Mike Tomlin. I call them Sixburg Steelers. 6 rings.
Ah,
yeah. That's what we do. Oh, nice play coming out of the timeout right there.
Jeremy Pargo.
I like it.
I like Sixburg.
Like that.
Let's see what Gerald Green can do. His team leading by 7.
Oh, fadeaway. Good defense by Green. That time, air ball leads to an easy layup by Murph.
43-38. First to 50 wins. Stevens gets a look. In and out. So you have Murphy for the 3-headed monsters with Pargo and Green.
Tough.
That was a moon ball that missed.
Yeah, tough. Good defense by Gerald Green.
You love an All-Star game that's close into the final stretch.
No, you do. And you love guys that take it serious, too. I think from the beginning, the tone was set on the defense, and then the guys were going to play hard.
Chalmers in the corner.
Not a lot of room. Yeah, not a lot of room to operate that time, too, by Chalmers. Deep in the corner, the sideline and baseline were at his footsteps, but able to maintain his concentration. And speaking of which, Murphy down the lane, said a lot of that during the season.
All right, point game for Team Doc. Can win with a 4-point shot.
Would that be a way to cap it off?
Oh, yeah. Chalmers lurking. Stevens.
Or you just take two.
Fargo. Too good a matchup.
Yeah, take two. More than one way to skin the cat and win the game. A 4-point shot by Dante Green.
There's the trash talking sensation.
On the bench. He's on it. I love it.
Chalmers has hit many game winners in his life. There he is. 6 to shoot. Against Fargo.
Hold up. Oh, hesitation. Oh, Murphy. Get it out of here.
I thought there might have been a whistle there.
Yeah, so Chalmers saying that right at the end, Fargo pushed him in the back, hence shot the layup a little stronger than he wanted to.
And Murphy fouling Green.
He's picked up a push. I'm telling you, look at the bench. Doc's bench, they're up. The 3 players, Steve Mix. Shout out to Steve Mix, Toledo, Ohio, University of Toledo. Had to get that in, by the way.
4-1-9.
That's right.
Stevens spins.
Oh.
Green got away with the big foul and count the bucket for Team Ice.
Well, Team Ice not giving up now. The official didn't call the foul, so you got to stay with it and play Rio. One more time, nope.
Green the rebound. Oh, fall away. And Gerald Green with the game winner in the Big 3 All-Star Game. Only fitting the guy who made the cupcake dunk famous in the NBA wins this Big 3 All-Star extravaganza in Atlanta.
Well, a competitive game, a great game. You never know what you're going to get from an All-Star game in regards to guys participating and playing hard. But I tell you what, in front of the fans here at State Farm Arena, the 12 players that laced it up to come out and play and participate didn't disappoint, which I think is a benefit to the league. It says a lot in Doc. I love that shirt. Look at that. XL right now. See if I can wear it as well as Doc.
Deshaun Stevens, what a performance. The MVP with Brian Scalabrine.
Deshaun, you came to play, and Ice Cube, he recognized it. Game recognized game. You get the MVP of the All-Star Game. Not messing around in this game at all.
Not at all, not at all. We came to win. We talked about it in the locker room. We wanted to take it serious. We wanted to win the game, so we came out and played together.
What was it like being coached by Dr. J?
The smoothest guy I've ever talked to in my life. It's amazing, though. He's really cool, down to earth, and I love his spits.
Well, congratulations on the entire season. Congratulations on winning the MVP of the All-Star Game. Can't wait to see you back next year for another year and maybe playing in that championship game.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You got it. See ya. MVP, baby. Guys.
In comes the trash-talking sensation to dap him down. Final score in the All-Star Game. Team Doc 50, Team Ice 44. Stay tuned. The Big 3 Championship, Power, and Trilogy. It's coming up next. We'll return to Atlanta, Georgia after these messages.